I'm really glad you raised this. This is one of those things that I think if Canadians don't know about it, even when a new political party holds the most seats and forms, by the way, I'm still part, there's one thing that's driving me crazy, it's when people call it the Harper government. The Harper administration, if there should be a Trudeau administration or a Mulcair administration, one of the things that is unlikely to change unless Canadians know about it is this devastating change in the relationship between the political side and the civil service. There used to be a wall between it. You obviously politically, if the people have elected a change in government, the direction's going to change, but the civil service stays there and loyally works, but provides evidence for sound decision-making on the assumption that any party that's been elected wants to provide good public policy, even if their ideology is different. What's happened under Stephen Harper is unprecedented. I hope it's not as bad in the provinces, but maybe it is. The wall between politics and civil service is down, and all of those civil servants are vulnerable to any little pipsqueak brat in PMO phoning them up any day and threatening them, shaking them down, telling them their report isn't good enough. Or I've had friends who work in the department, well, secondhand, someone I know who works with someone who's in the Department of Justice, where they were actually told, we want your legal opinion on this issue, and this is what we want you to say. Right? Or the report from Transport Canada on tanker traffic that was reported in the media and a press release from Transport Canada as, this was submission to the Joint Review Panel, the Transport Canada says there are no risks with the acceptable risks with tanker traffic on the BC coast. You read that report, it's not what it said. So obviously, they were shaken down to produce any report that would fill a gap to say tankers were okay. So Transport Canada civil servants who wrote that wrote there are no regulatory gaps. So if there's an oil spill, it's up to Environment Canada. If there's a collision, it's up to Coast. I mean, so it wasn't in previous governments they couldn't have gotten away with this. I've got lots more examples. So if we can communicate to others, write letters to the editor. I know that sounds very boring, but we have to educate other Canadians so that this can be fixed. We have to let people know Stephen Harper is dismantling the normal function of government and systematically suppressing evidence-based decision-making by eliminating evidence wherever possible and shutting down the people who used to provide good evidence. And we're now up to $10 million a year in the budget of the Prime Minister's office. And literally,